Reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is the ability to process text, understand its meaning, and to integrate with what the reader already knows. To be able to accurately understand written material, children need to be able to do three things: 1. Decode what they read, 2. Make connections between what they read and what they already know, and 3. Think deeply about what they have read. Steps involved in reading comprehension. 1. Read the given passage quickly at first to get the main points. 2. Read the instruction and questions very carefully. 3. Read the passage again carefully, understand it fully and note or underline all important details. 4. Now write out your answers in simple and correct sentences. 5. Read through your work to correct grammatical and spelling errors before submitting. Tips on reading comprehension. 1. Do not answer verbatim from the passage unless otherwise necessary. Try to answer your questions in your own words. You will be penalized for mindless lifting of portions of the passage as answers. 2. Limit your answers to the information in the passage only. 3. Always present your answers in sentences where necessary. Avoid giving your answers in single words or phrases. You will be penalized if you provide a word or a phrase instead of a sentence. 4. For a question demanding synonym, the substitute must be based on the context. Questions in this group are framed in this manner: for each of the following words or phrases, find another word or phrase which means the same and which can replace it in the passage. Thus, suppose you are asked to give one word, which can replace the word dissenting in the sentence. The habitual doubting Thomases had no dissenting opinions to express. You will discover from the context that differing is the most appropriate word. This is because differing collocates better with opinion than with any other word that may be synonymous with dissenting. It means that you have to consider collocation in your choice of synonyms. A collocation is two or more words that often go together. For example, the word advise naturally go with words like strongly, badly, wrongly, legally, or properly. 5. Provide synonyms that have the same tense as the words given, as in kills and murders, kill and murder, killed and murdered. 6. For questions on figures of speech, you are only expected to provide the meaning of such expressions and not the meaning of a figure of speech. Questions on figures of speech require a thorough knowledge of the different figures of speech, the most common being simile, metaphor, and personification. You should note that, in each case, the figure of speech is a comparison of a kind. Simile compares two different things using like or as to signify the comparison, as in he is like a morning star. On the other hand, a metaphor compares two things without using like or as in he is a tiger, which implies that he fights like a tiger. Personification, on its own part, gives human attributes to non-animate things, as in the wind spoke. The act of speaking is a human attribute only, and, therefore, wind has been personified. 7. For idiomatic expressions, you need to know them firsthand before you can identify their meaning. Context clues might help, but they are not reliable in this regard. 8. Identify the appropriate form and functions of given grammatical structures from the passage. Grammatical structures include phrases and clauses. You must know them and their functions. 9. Limit yourself to the required number of sentences. 10. Follow the flow of thought of the writer where necessary. This means that you must give your answers according to the sequence of ideas in paragraphs. 11. Avoid irrelevant materials in your answer. 12. Never lump 2 points in one sentence. 13. Maintain the numbering format used and do not change it. Use a different numbering format where it is necessary to split a point. How to improve reading comprehension. 1. Find books you will like. Sometimes, low reading comprehension comes down to the fact that a student is not just interested in what they are reading. In fact, research shows that 73% of students say they would read more if they could find books they liked. The secret to becoming a better reader is practice, something that is much easier when you actually like what you are reading. 2. Read aloud. Hearing the words out loud helps many students gain a better understanding of what they are reading than they are able to get while reading in their head. 3. Skim the headings of the text. Quickly skimming the headings of a book gives students a high-level overview of what they are reading. You can use the headings to quickly understand what the reading is about and the main points before he or she actually starts reading. For reread sections that are confusing, revisiting the parts that were confusing for you can help you gain a more complete picture of what you are learning. This also helps ensure you are able to understand upcoming material in the text. 5. Use a ruler or finger to follow along. If you have trouble keeping your place while reading, use a ruler or finger to make following along easier. This trick can also help students who have dyslexia and struggle with separating lines of text and sentences while reading. 6. Write down words you do not know. As you make your way through the reading material, write down unfamiliar words. Look up these words in a dictionary to learn what they mean. Then, find ways to use them in your own sentence. 7. Discuss what you have just read with a friend. When you have finished reading, talk about what you just read with a friend who may have read a similar material. For longer reading materials, like novels for book reports, make discussion questions you can talk about together after each reading session. 8. Recap and summarize the main points. Explaining what you learned in your own words helps ensure you understand what was read. It also helps relate the material to what you already know. 9. Write down questions about what you do not understand. Make notes about what you do not understand while reading. When you have a question, pause and reflect on what you have read. If you still have unanswered questions, take them to the teacher for extra help. 10. Use different formats. Some students are not just natural readers, they learn better when they see, hear, or write things. If you struggle with reading, find a format that works better and incorporate that into reading sessions. This could include writing down the main points as he or she reads or visualizing the material by drawing what you are reading. For older students, this could be a mind map. 11. Identify reading problems. If you struggle with reading on an ongoing basis, watch for red flags that you may have a reading difficulty. Dyslexia is relatively common, with up to 5 students in a classroom suffering from some form of this reading difficulty. If you seem to struggle with reading without any improvement, it is important to identify whether you have a reading problem so you can take steps to solve it. 12. Get a reading tutor. For students who need an extra boost, getting a reading tutor can help improve these skills even more. You can join my English class on Google Classroom using this class code and gain full access to lots of rich lesson contents and exercises which will be graded and returned with feedback. Lessons are also available in slides and PDFs. Thanks for watching.